not doing anything for that. And like I said, when Phil Spencer said that they lost the race and that they that they lost the console war, it's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
WWE 2K23 servers officially go down forever as of today. 2K Games puts its finishing move on WWE2K23 as the game's servers and community creations are taken offline. This happened January 16th, so just a couple days ago. Oh no, it's January 6th, excuse me. Today is a big day for the WWE as Raw officially moves to Netflix, with tonight's show from Los Angeles. It also marks the end of the era for WWE2K23. As of now, 2K Games has taken down the game servers permanently. 2K Games said it was giving WWE2K23 as final takedown last September. The game and its DLC was removed from PlayStation and Xbox.
Go on.
WK2K23 will no longer have any online function, including player to player matches or even the community creations that allowed fan made characters to be downloaded. However, WK2K23 will be available to play offline for anyone who purchased it prior to its removal. The game that foreshadows what will eventually be, which allow players to recreate several famous matches from the showcase of the Immortals. 2K Games hasn't officially unveiled WW2K25 yet, but if the game holds to the previous title's release window, it should arrive sometime earlier this year, probably February or end of February, beginning of March. WWE superstars have also crossed over with Call of Duty and Fortnite in the past, so the next WW2K game may not be the only place to find your favorite wrestlers in 2025. So there's only one comment. So let's see what this says. The Fox Hounded goes seriously. That's just another reason not to buy a 2K game again if they shut down servers that are only a few years old. Not even a few years old.
Not even, yeah.
Because 2K23 came out like March of 2023, so it's not even 2 full years.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's if you don't mind, I'm gonna say what I think about this first.
Oh, definitely.
There's this is one reason I really don't buy and or have any interest in buying the WW2K games because it's like you got to care about it in its first year, otherwise you're gonna miss out on the DLC. You're gonna miss out on any online function, and this is ridiculous, giving it a 22-month window of its online service. Imagine, this is, and um, it's also a cash grab saying, "Hey, you want to play WWE games online and download stuff online? Get get the next one, get the newest one." Yeah, some people don't don't care to just buy the next one just so they can continue playing it online. Um, you got to give people a reason to want to get it. You got to give people a reason to want to buy the next one. You can't just update the roster and say job done, now buy it. Otherwise, you're gonna be offline when you play your old one. Why would I ever get WW2K23 now if I could never get the DLC, for example? Um, so this is I mean it for me it just like if I don't get a WWE game at launch, I don't want it.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Unfortunately, I don't. This says more unfortunately, but I don't buy W2K games anymore, or I never did actually. Not even for the last at least 10 years. At least 10 years. It should be more 15 years. I haven't bought any wrestling related games. The only games I usually play are the old stuff from the N64, like No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000. That's on N64, by the way. Then there's also
Yep,
SmackDown. I had the first two SmackDown. SmackDown Shut Your
on PlayStation.
yeah, PlayStation. I only PlayStation One also. Well, I don't have PS1 games. SmackDown 1 and 2, but I had Shut Your Mouth for the PS2. Know Your Role, what's called Know Your Role, pretty much, and then Shut Your Mouth. That's
Shut Your
2002.
Mouth, and then Here Comes the Pain in
Yeah, Here Comes the
2003.
Pain. I owned that for a while. I sold it almost a third. No, I didn't know. Someone stole it from me while I was moving and stuff. So it's a long story there. Pretty much up until SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, I had the collection of SmackDown vs. Raw,
Right.
SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, and SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. So those are only games I have
Yep.
so far that I have right in front of me. I can still play if I really want to, as well as the old school SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, if I recall correctly. That is. Yeah, I have a lot of games to keep track of. And I have a small
Yeah.
collection comparison to other gamers online who are YouTube gamers, like the Watts, Scott the Watts, and Jay West. These guys have a huge collection of Pokemon and wrestling and other games and stuff. It's I don't know how these guys do it, but I only have that's like a smidget. I'm in comparison. I'm like a smidget to these guys online, these legendary YouTube gamers. But other than that, yeah, SmackDown versus Raw was one of the biggest things to play in the 2000s. Wrestling was still relevant to some people out there back
Yep.
then. That was like post Attitude Era and parts of Attitude
Yeah.
Era. You know, if you want to include the No Mercy's
Yeah.
Party Attitude Era and WrestleMania
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah. The PS1 games, it was still the Attitude Era because that was 2000.
Yeah,
This Aggression didn't come in until 2002, so that was SmackDown Shut Your Mouth year,
here comes the
and
pain
then
later on.
and then the P- and then SmackDown ended with SmackDown Here Comes the Pain because they moved to SmackDown versus Raw just doing the years after that.
Showing
SmackDown
McMahon's
versus
face as a cover. Yeah.
2007. That lasted until 2011. Then instead of SmackDown versus Raw 2012, we got WWE 12. THQ said the reason for that, they said SmackDown and Raw really don't wrestle on TV anymore at this point. So they cared about making the games more like the product you see on TV. Then THQ went out of business after like a few months after WWE 13 came out.
Mhm.
So 2K games came in, and Ukes was still developing what was going to be WWE 14, now WWE2K14. And
Mhm.
then Ukes left after WWE2K19. 2K20 was the big disaster. 21 was canceled, never saw the light of day. And we had WWE2K22, 23, and 24.
Yeah, I'm surprised they still keep track of that after the 2K games came out because, it was like the popularity. This is my perspective, of course. The popularity is not there as it used to be with wrestling.
Right.
So most of my neighbors, not most of my neighbors, but a good portion of who are my age group of my neighbors, we used to watch wrestling all the time and got the newest game, the newest systems. Now it's like got older, got more shit to do. When we would have family, friends, or holidays, or the vacation. You name it. It's like we had a lot of stuff going on for the last 15 years. Now it's like the younger people are not watching wrestling as they used to. I try to tell some 20-year-old, well, one of my 20-year-old my friends or whatever online. They're like, "Hey, you watch SmackDown, Raw?" It's like, wrestling. And I'm like, you mean wrestling? Yeah. You watch wrestling? And no. I'm like, what the hell? Like, they're not appealing to us. Yes, some of the coverage I see, like the promos, like the Raw's War, W Raw, pretty much on Netflix now. It started in January, on
Yep.
Netflix. I saw clips of it, and I saw this lady fall into two tables. I'm like, damn, they're hardcore. That's fucking them more than Tristan and Victoria when they had their hardcore match, street fight match. Like, damn. So a lot has changed for the last 15 years. This Victoria and Trish Stratus had their feud along with Jazz and
Yeah.
Tori Wilson and stuff like that. So a lot has changed since then. My God, man.
Yeah. Um, as far as my wrestling habits go, like I don't watch any show wrestling wise straight through. Whether it's TNA, AEW, or WWE, I subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if I feel like watching wrestling, I'll see what they posted recently. You know, um,
You
but
watch
that's
on
the only
YouTube or
time.
something.
Yeah, is watching on. Well, this is not only just watching on YouTube. This is the official channel of WWE or the official channel of AEW. So you know
Okay,
the the wrestling companies have learned. Hey, try to get some of that YouTube revenue. Why not
definitely.
up? Why not upload your content instead of waiting for someone else to upload it and possibly. So it's based. So but that's the only way I've watched wrestling now for a long time, for like last year, is watching those clips.
Yeah.
Um,
Your best bet now,
but the thing,
if I can say this, the best your best bet to watch decent wrestling is either on pay per view DVDs and or live. Because if you watch the pre recorded on YouTube, they censor parts of the violence out. So when Chipman did that leap of faith on Undertaker in one of those Hell in a Cell matches in WrestleMania,
yeah,
they cut out the part where Shane lands into the table, the announcement table.
oh, wow,
Yeah, I was like, yes. I was like, what? They censored it out. That was a beautiful thing. But then I had to I got what I actually got it on DVD later on years back. I forgot which WrestleMania it was, but I got it for about 35-40 bucks. The WrestleMania that Shane versus Undertaker fight each other for the first time in the WrestleMania. So that was good to have that as a mark. So yeah. Sorry, go
yeah,
on.
but no, no, I'm just saying, but like when it comes to the games, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to invest in a game and it be offline less than 2 years after launch.
Yeah.
2K18, if I do that, I'm gonna buy it. So like, if I don't buy the game day one, I'm not buying it. Period.
Hmm.
Um, 2K18, I bought just because I wanted a 2K game because I had 14 and I went to 2K16 from GameFly and 2K15. Um, and I never got 2K17. So like I bought 2K18 digitally just so I would have it because I was moving at the time, so I knew if GameStop tried to deliver it, it's like I don't know where my new address is going to be or the new address yet. So I don't, if they deliver to my old place, it's just going to be returned. So I got it digitally, and I got the DLC the same day, and it's like, okay, I got that. If I want to play a game, sure, it's out. It may be somewhat outdated, but if I play a different wrestling game, it's gonna be old. It's gonna be older anyway. I'll play WW2K14 um, because that still was basically 2K when they purchased the license. They didn't have the money to build the game from the ground up. They
Yeah.
had to go with what was had already been built. So WW2K14 is like the real last THQ game,
Hmm.
even though it's a 2K game. Uh, Whatever THQ had told Ukes to do, or agreed with Ukes to do, you know, 2K had to basically say, if we want to meet our deadline, just continue what you started. Um, so I'll do that. If I get another 360, I might get WW12, um, or I might get SmackDown versus Raw 2011 for the PlayStation 3 because these are also the games that I have the DLC for. So obviously, I'm going to get a game for the system where I have the DLC. But I mean, this is now, but I hate, I'll go back to those games. But I hate this new thing about, oh, buy a game and then less than 2 years later the servers are down.
Yeah, it's not worth it after a while. Especially you got
Yeah,
all everything's online.
and not to mention, it's like I think the prices, I don't know if WWE went up to $70 instead of 60. So now I got to pay $70 and my game's going to last a shorter amount of time.
Hmm. Plus, you gotta buy DLC at the behind the $70 game as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that because, like I say, I'd rather games do DLC instead of microtransactions or anything like that,
The
um,
live service games, yeah,
or live service. But at the same time, it's like you if you're going through financial hard times just for a few months, you're screwed unless you come into some money uh, somehow.
yeah,
And I'm like I said, just the 40 years of WrestleMania, it's really not. Because what they do is I thought they were going to do what they did in WW2K14, where you play through all 30 years of WrestleMania. You play through all the main events. So WrestleMania 1 was Big John Studd and Andre the
yeah.
WrestleMania 2, Hogan and Bundy in the cage. WrestleMania 3, Hogan and Giant. I and they went through every single WrestleMania,
Hmm.
the big time matches. WrestleMania 2K20 WWE 2K24 only has like 23 or 25 matches out of 39 WrestleManias that already happened. So not
Mm.
even every WrestleMania is represented.
They should be cheap with it, or trying to make sure no one doesn't know about the history of the E back then.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, and don't give me that, oh well, they couldn't add Chris Benoit. They could have. Okay, so you don't add you could have still done Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. That happened at WrestleMania 20 also. You
Or
could have
Owen Hart, even.
Owen Hart, yeah, him and Brett at WrestleMania 10, I think it was, when they wrestled in the cage. You could have done, so I mean, well, Owen's not actually, it's Owen's wife that or widow that doesn't allow him to be in games
Oh
anymore.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right about that because the Dark Side of Ring you mentioned. Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
about that.
So I mean, they probably want to put Owen in the games, but they, like I said, his widow has say over
Rights.
whether they
Yeah,
can do that or not.
yeah. It'd be a
Uh,
lawsuit.
but like I said, if you want to hide from the Chris Benoit thing, okay, WrestleMania 20, Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. What what's wrong with, you could add that main event. When I saw the match list and I saw how like depleted it was, I was like, this isn't 40 years of WrestleMania. There's like 25 matches here.
It's not even
I mean,
half of the WrestleManias at all.
yeah. I mean, at least 2K14, when they had 30 years, the 30th WrestleMania hadn't happened yet. They had matches, as far as I know, from all 29 WrestleManias. Sure, maybe one match, or it was either one or two matches, but they at least had them. They had every WrestleMania from 1 to 29, the arenas in the game.
Unless they made them as DLCs or even package
No,
DLCs.
no, that was actually included because I think you unlocked the WrestleMania arena as you got to each WrestleMania.
Okay.
You and me actually played it, CM Punk and Triple H in the WrestleMania 3 arena,
Which game was that again? 2K
WWE
13.
2K14.
Oh, 2K. Okay, 14. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did a recording of it together, right?
probably, but that probably was deleted by Daily Motion.
All right. I can't believe they most delete all those videos you made. That's crazy of them to do that to you.
Yeah, well,
You should file a lawsuit. Well, it's too late now to do it, but it's been what 3 4 years now.
yeah, and besides, I'm not going to sue them because I mean they're they're also in a different country. Keep in mind, Daily Motion station in French, so they
Oh,
operate under French law.
the French, oui, oui. All right. Sacre bleu.
I don't know anything in French, so
It's like a slang. It's like a slander term, like sacre bleu. Yeah, we pissed off and all. But if you're French, whatever. That's a stereotype back in the '90s and earlier. So
all right. So I mean, yeah. So this is to get back on track. This is
yes.
I agree with the person who left the comment. I'll probably never. I'll never play another WWE 2K game unless it's something I end up buying day one.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, do I want to buy it day one and have to buy the DLC, or do I just want to stick with 2K18 because I own the DLC for that?
Hmm.
Anything else to add, or ready to move on?
Yeah, I just want to say though that with wrestling altogether, things have changed since the last 10, 12, I say 15 years at least. The last time I watched wrestling constantly, we had Drew McIntyre as as a good wrestler, upstanding, rise up the ranks along with Randy Orton and CM Punk at the time, especially, and now it's like I heard things are getting better with all the wrestling types of wrestling matches with the females involved. So they're trying
Yeah,
to up the game on for the female wrestlers. So even though they look attractive back in back in the Trish Stratus and Stacey Keebler and all, now they're more wrestling. They wrestle way better than them now, and doing more high flying tables, ladders, and chairs like here, some form of that matter. Well, I saw that promo I told you with the Raw promotion on Netflix, so that was pretty cool. So that's their sacrificing life and limb now for the entertaining wrestlers, and they don't want that for the female wrestlers. But hey, if they want to go for it, they go for it. So
yeah. So,
it's like that.
um,
If I can say this though too, there's a new movie coming out based on the first popular female wrestler back in the 19, I think it was 40s, if not 30s, or if not 50s, And it's like around the time as Fabulous Moolah started and stuff like that. So there's a called The Woman in the Ring or A Strong Woman in the Ring or something like that. It's coming out in March. So that's good promo for the female wrestlers to start doing so. So good job.
Okay, I didn't know about that movie
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube not so long ago earlier today. So yeah, I'm ready.
Yes.
Let's move on.
All right, ready? You ready to move on?
Yes, I am. Good stuff.
Yep. Yep. Next, Suicide Squad developer let go of more employees at the end of 2024.